great people in from Washington, and Tim is here with us. How you doing, Tim?
Glenn, it's good to be with you. I'm doing great. How are you today?
I am very good. It is, first of all, it is refreshing to see that you're the first black American to be elected into the Senate since Reconstruction, a huge barrier that has been broken. How does that make you feel?
It certainly is exciting to win elections without any question. It makes me very proud because as a South Carolinian, what it really speaks to is the fact that so many people in South Carolina vote their issues, they vote their values, and not their complexion. This is the beauty of the Southern story that is very seldom told in whole. The fact of the matter is that if you look for the part of the country that has made the most country in the least amount of time, look no further than the South, and specifically South Carolina, where the voters have given me an opportunity to represent their values and their issues because they are my values and my issues.
How unbelievably refreshing to hear it said that way. So, Tim, when you get all of the calls from MSNBC and the New York Times and everybody to do a story on this historic moment with you as being the first black senator to show how the Tea Party in particular is not racist, how the South is, sure it has problems with race, every place has problems with racism, but
exactly.
It is not the story that is being told everywhere. How are you arranging your schedule to get all of those interviews in that have been requested? Because I would imagine they're enormous.
Glenn, I like your sense of humor. That's one of the reasons why I'm a fan of Glenn Beck, because you have a great way of sharing the truth in love. And what you just said is tomorrow I'm pretty open for those types of interviews, but I haven't had a request for one. I'm not sure where they are, but maybe they'll come tomorrow.
Have you checked your cell phone? Maybe your cell service is not working, because I'm sure, because correct me if I'm wrong, this is a huge story between you and Mia Love and
Will Hurd.
Pardon me?
Will Hurd in Texas.
Right. I mean, this is huge.
It's pretty remarkable. It's only been 120 years or so. I mean, it's only been a little while. But here's the fact, Glenn, and you and I know it well. The fact is that in this last election cycle, I went over to North Carolina to help Tom Tillis, and thank God he won. But the ads that were paid for by Harry Reid's PAC, if there is the definition of race baiting, you can find it in the ads run against Tom Tillis. It was despicable. That is not what brings the country together. And over the last 5 or 6 years, we've seen that in parts of the country, the races have started to divide again, and that is unfortunate. Now, certainly we've made a lot of progress. But the fact of the matter is that the lowest common denominator of fear is not what brings Americans together. We come together with hope. Hope being defined as individual responsibility, and if you will be responsible in America, all things are possible.
Man, is it refreshing to hear this on television, albeit it's our television network. I'd like to hear this on CNN and MSNBC, but let me take you here. I saw Harry Reid's response, and he said that the message that the Democrats should get is that America wants the two of them to work together. And okay, well, you're laughing.
Sorry.
So
I apologize.
No. So you agree with me that that's nonsensical. I'd like to hear your opinion on what the message is, but I'd also like to hear your opinion on, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, well, yeah, that is part of the message. No, when we're not talking about parties, we're talking about race, creed, religion, gender, sexuality. We're tired of being divided into groups. Let's work together as human beings and Americans all and solve the problem.
Exactly. And Glenn, I would say that the answer to the first part of the question is rejection, period. The American people rejected the direction of Harry Reid and President Obama. What they want is a country that is united. One of the ways that we unite the country is not to look for political issues that scores points in polls, but to look for political issues that are actually about the human condition. One of the reasons why, if you look at my opportunity agenda, we focus on education is because I know firsthand that education is the gateway to the American dream. That with the right education, not defined by your zip code, where poor kids too often can't go to the best schools because they live in the wrong zip code. When we define education as the gateway to the American dream, and we give parents the power of choice, their kids have a better chance, and their communities become more hopeful. This is a good thing for America, and yet you won't find any conversation about students in education. You'll find a lot of conversation about unions in education. That's the wrong direction for education. We should be talking about kids. We should talk about skills and entrepreneurship and apprenticeship programs. We should be having a great conversation and a debate even about the direction of the American education system, which spends more money per capita than any other country on earth. We can do better.
So, Senator, you are now going in at, I believe, the most dangerous time in American history since the Civil War. Most Americans can feel a reset is needed because of our debt, because of our discourse, all of it. It just, a reset is coming. A great humbling is coming. What do you hope the Republican leadership does? I know there's a lot of people that are screaming for impeachment, et cetera, et cetera. What do you think is the most important thing that you could put in the top one or two things on the agenda that you have to address now?
I would certainly like to see more emphasis placed on my opportunity agenda, where we talk about education, skills, and apprenticeship programs. Beyond that, I would suggest that we better start with issues that the American people, beyond education, it resonates with the American people. Issues like the Keystone Pipeline. Here's a notion, a budget, new concept in D.C., old concept around the country. Most families work on one, and yet in D.C., we have gone without a serious budget in the Senate for more than 5 years, a serious budget. If we were to look at tax reform, the highest corporate tax rate in all of the world, we could see millions of jobs created by lowering our tax rate and bringing home the overseas profits without double taxation. Here are ways, key ways, we could create millions of jobs. And if our workforce, which is the best workforce in the world, has the skills necessary to compete, we're back in business.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's good to have you on. And America,
Thank you, Glenn.
I urge you to write this day down in your diary and what you just saw, because you just saw history happen. And we'll continue with a couple of other history makers here in just a second. But this is history, and our history books are not going to reflect it. Our media is not going to reflect it. This was a big deal, a very big deal. The people that everyone across the country and the world now have said are racists have just broken a gigantic race barrier. And we didn't do it because we wanted to make history. We did it because we saw somebody and said, I like him. I agree with him. That's a real move in ending racism in America. Back in a second.